Hello there, Tim here for a Dark Knight Rises first impressions slash review. I saw the movie today, Saturday, a couple days after it came out, and I saw it twice, back to back, and I have to say, I'm pretty impressed. So today's video, I'm not going to go over some things that may spoil it for people, but it'll be more of a first impressions slash review of it, and I'll try to leave out as much spoiler type stuff as possible. I would recommend seeing it as I did love it. So of the three movies, we have Batman Begins, we have The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. And I'm really glad they didn't call this Batman Ends and something really depressing like that, but rather Dark Knight Rises, as it is very much in tune with the theme of this movie. Before getting into this, I have to mention my deepest sympathy and prayers go out to those in the attack in Colorado, and that's just a terrible thing. And I actually know a friend of a friend that was involved in that in a big way who actually got hit. So my prayers do go out to those people. With that said, let's get on to the actual movie. The movie itself was a great film. It is in the class and quality of the first two films, and it's hard for me to rate which one is best, which one stands out as the film of the three, because it is one story, one arc, one story that wraps up in this movie. With that said, The Dark Knight, the second film, I believe will be the movie, the film that is regarded as the best of the bunch. Mainly because of the Joker, Heath Ledger's performance during that film. There's nothing that can top that. I mean, as great as this movie was, it's hard to top that. This was a great movie, in line with Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. The same style, same quality of story, and all of those great things that make this trilogy a great thing. And with that said, it was kind of interesting to note at the end credits, I didn't notice this before in the first two, this motion picture was shot and finished on film. And I'm curious what that means, if they edited this in pure film, if this ever went digital, or how that happened. So just something interesting to note there. This movie for me was great because it really wrapped up the questions we had from Batman Begins, and it really kind of brought a close to this Dark Knight saga that we've been experiencing. The length of it did not bother me. It was 2 hours and 45 minutes, I believe. My bladder was getting to me by the end of the movie, but with that said, the pacing was really good. It didn't feel like a long movie. There were a couple spots that might have felt a little longish, but really, for the length of this film, it held my attention. It felt like every scene was a needed scene, that it didn't have excess scenes for any reason, and it really was a worthwhile experience as far as length. As far as some other things, I'm trying to avoid things I can't talk about here. It was great to see most of the characters return for this final film in some capacity. We see most of the characters in this, and that's a cool thing for sure. One thing I want to address here is Bane, the villain. Many people critics called Bane a heartless villain, that we don't care what happens to him pretty much, because he's heartless, he has no character, and he doesn't really have purpose for being there in Gotham City. And to that, I would say, critics, you are wrong. You're dead wrong. In this movie, I've seen it twice now, and the second time it really rang true, and even the first time it rang true, his role, his character, and why he's so unique, and all the different aspects of him. This is not a heartless thug kind of like dude. This is a guy that's got more depth to him, and you'll see that as you watch this movie. So to that, I say that's moohickey. That's crap. This main villain is a great villain that I believe will stand, not up there with the Joker, but he's definitely a villain that is notable and as good as Ra's al Ghul, I would say. But the only difference is him not being Liam Neeson, which makes him a little bit worse because Liam Neeson is awesome. But with that said, enjoyable experience. I didn't feel like it lacked anything in particular. It really was a great experience. In future videos, I'm going to wrap this one up because it's around 5 minutes now. Future videos, I'm going to talk about kind of the parallels in the film universe of Catwoman versus Catwoman, Batman Returns. I'm going to go over some different themes of this film and some different things that were going through my head. I took notes as I was watching this movie or afterwards, and I'm going to go through and share some of those notes with you guys in future videos. So stay tuned for those. Watch this video. Watch this movie. Highly encouraged. I had a great time at it, watching it. So I'd encourage you to see it in theaters and have your prayers go out to those that were affected in the shooting over there in Colorado. So it was a travesty, and yeah, that's that. I don't want to get more into that, but yeah, really, really terrible stuff there. But great movie. I'd highly encourage you to see it. If you haven't seen the first two, watch those prior to going. Those are important films, I think. Into going to this one, I think you won't appreciate it as much if you go in without seeing those. So with that, stay tuned for future videos, and thanks for watching. Aloha.